today with that morning pursuit that you mentioned, Alex.
We're watching here as he appears to be boxed in.
Wow.
But apparently he gets away from police and the pursuit is on, as we're seeing to the left of your screen in the smaller box. But watching this here, you can see why police now consider this person very dangerous.
No question about it. And he got away. Guns were drawn there. And perhaps there wasn't enough backup by the police department there, starting in Fullerton. At least that's what we understand this pursuit. He just kept pulling up, backing up hard, ramming that patrol car, trying to get out.
Oh,
Look at
man.
that.
And then made a pathway for himself. Impressive with the turns here.
Up on the curb there, then he's going to make a right. This is the part where we picked it up just prior to going on air, and we did see that this individual was being pursued. You can see that officer outside the vehicle. It just doesn't look like there was two officers there. It doesn't look like there's another one running to get out of the way. And unclear if those were Fullerton officers. I couldn't see the emblem on the side of that patrol car, but we do there's another patrol car there against
against traffic again.
A very busy stretch of Valley View here, oncoming traffic. Now making a left, thankfully, getting those other individuals out of harm's way here. Rosecrans and Valley View. Now on Rosecrans here.
Whoa, against traffic again.
He is in the wrong direction, wrong side of the road. Now he's going to get on the right side and picking up speed yet again. Our Extreme Nav system always have you covered with our Skyfox there, the emblem up on the top there. Rosecrans Avenue, ripping at high speeds there, upper right corner of your screen. That speedometer gives you an idea how quickly that suspect that we're honing in on is going.
Yeah.
Initially, we thought this came in as a possible vehicle violation. They boxed that vehicle in. They lit him up. Up on the curb. So reckless here.
Very reckless, and you have to wonder, is this person on some kind of drugs, the way they're driving? The way they're acting with police right there, they had their guns drawn.
Up on the sidewalk,
Kind of behavior is very erratic.
And a sense of restraint from police as well. I mean, they had their guns drawn. Whoa, you wonder if this thing's going to lose control. They chose not to shoot at the tires or do anything to sort of, at that point, I think when that person was asking that desperate to try to get out of there, they just kind of let him go.
And that black helicopter you saw flying at a lower altitude than Skyfox up above there, that likely was one of the law enforcement helicopters. There you go. There's a unit there. We widen out. We see the unit there trailing this individual now on Marquardt Avenue at Larwin Avenue, circled there. And you can see all the addresses of the adjacent residential structures there nearby. Again, a high-speed pursuit. We're still trying to ascertain how this started. Definitely in Orange County, possibly in Fullerton, possibly just as a simple vehicular violation. They lit this individual up. It looks like he had pulled over. They boxed him in a complex, a condo, an apartment complex, and he didn't want to give up. And you saw him ram that patrol car several times to get out of the way. There wasn't a lot of backup yet there. He lost his tire there. Not a surprise, and unclear if that was a spike strip or if it's just because he's been driving so recklessly up on the curbs, hitting those curbs hard, driving erratically beyond such a reckless pursuit here now on Imperial Highway.
That's a big vehicle, too, to perhaps lose a tire. And the way that person's driving at those speeds. What baffles me, too, is the road just a second ago was wide open, yet that driver still drove in the middle.
Whoa! Lots of sparks there.
Hopefully that will bring this to an end sooner than later.
The thing is going to go much longer, but we've seen...
Patrol guy into a gas station. And this is where it gets so dangerous. And he's, he doesn't have as much control, being that he's lost that back left tire. And this is a high-sided vehicle as well. We already saw him hightail. He doesn't care. This guy does not care. He is revving hard. You could see the smoke. And they got to do something to bring this to an end here.
And you think about this innocent person in this car on the right, who's now in their car, wasn't expecting this to happen.
And this is a situation, Alex and Christine, that this driver is so wanting to get away. What will he do? Is he armed? Will he try to hijack the sparks
flying too, trying to get away?
We've seen this before, those rev-ups where they just can't move, and he's hitting the pedal to the metal right now. That's why we're seeing the sparks and the smoke here. Officers out of the vehicle. Guns drawn here, being told to give up. That officer is in harm's way big time. This driver did not care initially.
Well, you worry too.
That might be parked. It might be a parked vehicle.
You worry too about the vehicle catching fire, or that person taking off and trying to carjack somebody else, obviously their state of mind is in disarray because of their behavior. And so officer safety here is crucial right here.
F-17, so I believe that's the code on top of that unit there. So I believe that could still be Fullerton. An initial report said this pursuit started in Fullerton. They would be the lead agency, and they're continuing on pursuing this individual. He can't move. It looks like he did sideswipe, as you said, a parked car there, Alex and Christine, on Carmenita Road here, guns drawn, waiting for backup though. Where are the other officers? That's what we want right there, to give the backup and perhaps block that vehicle in on the front side.
Rick, how about the vehicles there on the right of our screen that are stuck there at the light? How frightening it must be to be at that light, kind of boxed in right there, witnessing this as you look over, probably wishing you could get out of the way quickly.
And officers have to be aware of that as well, because we don't know how this
whole van could catch on fire.
We don't know exactly that gas tank, because he's revving that vehicle. We continue to see the sparks. The rim is that lane of Carmenita Road isn't even blocked yet. But you can see motorists saying,
there's police there.
We don't want any part of this. Here comes another unit on the front side, which is very dangerous for those officers, because now they're going to be on the front side.
Look at the fire now starting from the sparks as this driver continues to try to get away. Previously, they were able to get away when they were boxed in, but this whole thing could catch on entirely on fire.
There's no question. The gas tank there, it's obviously those flames are so close.
Starting on the front now.
Now it looks like there could be some sort of fire on the front. And this driver, and if there is an occupant in there, they can't get out because they're on that passenger side. We don't know if there's anybody else inside that vehicle besides the driver. Again, this started, if you're just tuning in, everyone. Oh, there he goes. He hopped out.
Whoa.
It's a foot bail. He got out that passenger side there, and he's on the run now. He is on the run down this neighborhood, and you can see
there aren't many police around.
No, we're going to watch this guy, and is he carrying something? Could he be armed? Could he carjack? Commandeer another vehicle at this time?
Hopped up on some sort of drugs.
I think if he was going to do that, he probably would have tried at this point. So he's just going to be on the run.
He doesn't seem to be acting very rationally at this point.
No,
so
not at all. His stamina, we'll see how long that lasts. But we're hoping that police helicopter obviously has eyes on this suspect. And what we would do if there wasn't there's a squad car there.
Okay.
And here comes some other ones. Making a turn into this residential area. If you heard the lights and sirens, anytime you have a situation like this, please stay inside. Doors and windows locked. Now this is dangerous. He's on the side part of this home.
Whoa.
And you could see more officers arriving on scene here, and we hope this will come to an end, because he was hopped the fence into another home, into the backyard of that home right there. And I'll tell you what, there is Inez Street. That's the side street there on the left side.
Oh no,
that's not the suspect.
That's just a kid?
No, or an adult?
Just coming out to see what's going on.
Oh goodness.
And I'll tell you what, we're going to have to go back and see, because he was driving so erratically. Too many people outside right now. Again, if you live in this neighborhood here on Inez Street, it's always so important. Somebody pushing a stroller perhaps on the sidewalk on the left side there.
I mean, they may have no idea what's going on behind them there. That man walking very casually.
And the officers may also, in this situation, they got to assume that everybody's a suspect too.
Yeah, hopefully they got eyes on him, and they do know that what he was wearing, they're gonna spread that to all the ground units. We're hoping that there he is right there.
No.
Look at that.
Whoa.
Oh, no.
There's an altercation here.
Oh, man.
There's an that's the suspect.
Are they fighting him?
That is crazy. He's trying to get into the truck.
Whoa.
That is their truck.
Oh, man.
No, get out of the way. Please get out of the way.
Come on.
Are they shooting him?
Wow.
Was that gunshots?
I don't. Oh, and he's off. He stole that contractor's vehicle.
Oh, my God.
And he's on the run again, just as I had thought. He was going to try to commandeer another vehicle, and he is on the move yet again.
So you wonder where
that the residents of that home were not injured. There was some sort of altercation.
They stole his keys, right? It had to have, right?
Again, if there is not a law enforcement helicopter up there, I guarantee we will be providing that information.
So you have to
pilot. We're in touch with law enforcement. We've done it in the past so that they know that now he's driving this contractor's pickup truck, ripping down Leffingwell Road here at Louise Avenue. starting in the Fullerton area in Orange County. Fullerton police, we believe, there goes the officers the opposite direction. They were making a left turn there off of Imperial Highway. Now back on Imperial Highway.
This is one of the more dangerous pursuits we've covered in some time.
And you mentioned this morning, you were here where you saw that one this morning.
That one was wild, but that one didn't involve at least 2 different carjackings.
Wow.
Well, we don't know if the first one was a carjacking. We know that it was a stolen vehicle. I mean, you have to wonder if this guy's armed. Because somehow, I don't know if it was a fight that led him to but somehow this person got his hands on that guy's keys, right?
Yeah, that begs the question, were the keys already inside the vehicle?
Or was that the struggle?
Was that the struggle? Was he's pulling the keys out of his pocket? And it looked like, I don't know if it was gunfire or something, but it looked like there was something that went off there during that altercation as well. We don't know if this suspect himself is armed. We don't know if those guys happen to have a gun.
And this is a situation, there's no holding back now. There's no backing off and just doing an aerial survey of this pursuit. All hands on deck. All law enforcement and the agents, all law enforcement agencies, I should say, are aware of what's going on. There's that helicopter because of the altitude, because it's below Skyfox, a few hundred feet above ground level, down in the dirt, as we say, likely tracking this vehicle here. Again, a stolen truck. As far as we know, that was a random incident where that suspect foot-bailed in the original vehicle, the van, went through a residential neighborhood, ended up in a home with this contractor's vehicle, had some sort of exchange or altercation with at least one of perhaps 3 other men there, and was able to get in this vehicle, started up, and the pursuit is on 2.0 in the second vehicle.
And that's always the fear when you have a suspect who's had this behavior, that they are going to do anything they can to get away, and everybody is vulnerable and at risk. And as I'm looking at this shot here, you can see that the sun is setting. It's getting darker out.
And now he just turned off his lights, just as you make that point about the sun setting. You wonder also if that van that we saw may be on fire at this point.
They're having to deal with that situation. Yeah. Exactly. Fire's been called out there.
And let's hope also that maybe our team can work to re-rack that video of what happened when they stole this, because we've got to watch that again to try to figure out what happened there. But now this person's got a whole new vehicle, fresh set of gas, new energy, clearly desperate, and on his way once again. Man, you got to feel for everybody in this neighborhood. If you know somebody that lives in Whittier, send them a call, give them a call or send them a text. Let them know about this, because this is a dangerous situation, and everybody's got to be, aware that this person's potentially coming and in their neighborhood. And if they get out of this, they may be desperate to try to attack somebody else.
Well, it was really sad to see how this went down, because you could tell the people on the left of our screen had no idea what was going on behind them. We had all hoped that perhaps police had this suspect cornered, that they had eyes on this suspect, and then he pops out in the driveway, and you saw that struggle, gets the keys, takes off in this vehicle.
You wonder why they were outside, but maybe it was just you keep hearing all this commotion and you want to see what's going on. I mean, some of that is a bit of human nature.
It seemed like they were doing other conversation.
Yeah, perhaps and also wonder what we don't know, and this is total speculation, is does this person know that person, and was there some connection
by the
there
struggle, though?
By
the struggle, you have to wonder.
Yeah, but you have to think, now up on the island there, against traffic yet again. Now this is on Florence Avenue. Florence is an east-west.
Oh, no, my gosh.
Head on, so close to those 2 vehicles, so erratic. We're just hoping that law enforcement in Whittier, the LA County Sheriff's Department, Whittier Police, Fullerton Police, the lead agency, again, all hands on deck to try to bring this to a safe conclusion here, because this guy, for every second, for every minute that this pursuit continues, having watched how brazen, how aggressive, how reckless he is, somebody's going to get hurt if they don't bring this to an end. And I don't think they're going to back off, as we say sometimes, to let him ease and calm himself. They're going to get this guy.
I mean,
they assaulted officers. This guy assaulted officers with his vehicle. He commandeered another vehicle out of a home. And I think because of the randomness, because Alex and Christine, you asked, did he know those people? He got into a situation where his vehicle didn't work anymore. He was trying to get away. That tire was out. He was gunning it, couldn't get away. He decided to pop out and just start running, and he ended up at that home. That's what I think happened. I don't think he has any connection.
And because, the police didn't have more backup when that original van was stuck and looking like it was about to catch on fire. They weren't able to get him while he was on the ground, right?
Yeah, it's a tough, wow, look at that. And he's able to actually meander and move that vehicle pretty good, despite the fact he's clearly not in a good mental sense right now. Running from police. Who knows what this individual was originally wanted for, or if he has wants. All we have heard initially, against traffic again there, and you could see darker conditions out there. The sun has long set here in Southern California.
And lights out.
The illumination of the lights. He turned off his lights for a while, and he continues to just drive recklessly here through the streets of Whittier.
Well, you feel for the officers who have to deal with someone like this with such uncertainty, and the way this person is working so hard to get away. You have to wonder at what lengths they'll go to get away. And we still have the question, is this person on some kind of drug that they're behaving like this so erratically?
And you also wonder now, Christine, as Rick sort of suggested, do some of the policing tactics potentially change now? And in that original incident where they let him go, or, you know, are they more aggressive in trying to make this thing end?
Yeah, here we go. Another very busy intersection in Whittier, Norwalk Boulevard. That's the street he's on there. He's got a red light here. Is he going to make a right turn or try to cross over that busy Slauson Avenue? You know Slauson, it runs across the basin and East-West Street, and you could see here that he decided to make a right turn on Slauson Avenue from Norwalk Boulevard, staying in the Whittier area, needling his way through traffic dangerously at a high rate of speed. We have not seen any units tailing close by. In fact, we saw other units arriving on the scene going in the opposite direction. Again, I hope that the media airships up there, including Skyfox, that one helicopter, that dark-colored helicopter that was flying much lower at a lower altitude than us up in Skyfox, we always give those law enforcement airships plenty of space so that they can do their thing and they can have eyes on these suspects. Hopefully, that intel has been spread to ground units all over this area in Whittier, near the 605 freeway, up on an island there, busy intersection again, Sorensen Avenue at Slauson. The evening rush hour is on. Again, every minute that this pursuit continues, the danger that this driver is putting, this suspect that is running from police, is putting those individuals, not only in other vehicles, pedestrians, bicycles as well.
So the suspect has been on surface streets for quite a bit here. At one time was on the freeway. We talked about this being in Anaheim and Fullerton PD being involved. Now in Whittier. It's been in Whittier for a few minutes here now. Traffic here, again, the issue slowing this vehicle down, but this driver finding ways to get around the traffic, whether it's a right turn or weaving through traffic. I'm wondering if this driver is going to try to stay on surface streets or find a freeway somewhere to
making a right there off of Sorensen Avenue, onto Lambert Road.
Wrong way again, wrong way again. Oof.
So close.
You think about all the lives that have already been impacted by this. That original van was stolen, so whoever that belongs to, now their van is done. You had an incident where the van, when it was stopped, bumped into another car that's probably been severely damaged by this. We now have this incident where it'd be fascinating to hear from the people who were involved in that altercation, who now have lost their truck. Is now randomly, they have to watch going through the streets there with their property. You wonder if they were injured in that struggle, too, when it looked like there was a fight and something was going on there, how this guy was able to get the keys. And this thing's still not over yet. I mean, usually we see these pursuits, it kind of just involves the driver and that's it. But a lot of lives already impacted by what we're seeing here.
And he hit a number of vehicles, Alex and Christine. I counted a number of cars that he either sideswiped, he rammed,
bumper car style.
Hit. So a stolen van, we assume that did occur. Perhaps he was lit up while in that van just for a traffic violation. He knew, this car came back stolen. Officers are on me. I got to get out of here. That's when we saw him ram that patrol car, put those officers' lives in danger. That is deadly force right there. Was pursued for miles through Orange County, through Garden Grove, out of Fullerton, into Whittier now, and then was able to commandeer this pickup truck, this pickup truck, a contractor's truck here. Now he's slowing down, and he may not see units behind him, so he is getting a little calmer. It does look like there is a night sun up there lighting this vehicle up, And if that's a law enforcement a unit that's doing that, airship, or if it's one of the media ships, because we have Night Suns as well, that's unclear at this time. But we have eyes on them. The other media ships do. We believe that that one helicopter, that dark-colored helicopter flowing at a lower altitude than we were up in Sky Fox, but now he's picking up speed, is flying and tracking this and alerting, giving all units on the ground, all points bulletin. This guy is moving too quickly, endangering lives across this area of Southern California, and this needs to be brought to an end.
He did turn on the lights for the vehicle because those surface streets there, that neighborhood area was very dark.
Let's see what happens. This is a big parking lot of some facility.
And we also don't know how much gas is in that vehicle.
Look at him.
Yeah.
There could be somebody pushing a cart out in the...
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
People pulling in, unclear what this is. Magnolia and Hadley, still in Whittier, and now really busy. People coming and going, perhaps from a grocery store, a Target, something. Looks like several businesses there. And now he just made his way around that. Now back out. There's that Night Sun. You can see that illumination lighting this vehicle up. This stolen. We believe it's stolen. We don't think he has any connection to this vehicle. We saw it live.
Certainly looked like a stolen vehicle.
Exactly.
If that's a friendly exchange, that's I don't want to be friends with this guy.
And I do not think that he had any connection with those individuals. I could be wrong, but just seeing what happened, how his van became disabled because of that left rear tire. He was trying to get away, revving it up. He knew that, you know what, I can't get away. I don't want to be taken into custody. And that's why they run. They run because they don't want to go to jail, obviously. He was able to hop out the passenger side of that van.
Okay,
here
so
it is. Here's
here
the
it is.
altercation. Here's the altercation.
On the right-hand side is earlier. This is the altercation.
There's a woman down there. There's a woman, a small dog, and a couple. Look at that.
Wow.
Look how they try to block the suspect from taking the vehicle.
They were trying to shut that gate to prevent him from leaving.
And they went in front of the vehicle.
That's assault on those men. Oh. Wow, look at that. Their dog.
The dog almost got run over, too.
Now he's running out. The dog's running out, and probably the gate was supposed to trap him. Now the dog's running onto a busy street.
Wow. That poor family.
This is something else. This is a situation where we hope and pray that nobody has been badly injured yet. From what we've seen, there's been a number of situations where where the van initially struck other vehicles. That altercation there at that home.
Yeah, can we maybe watch that one more time? Do we have that video one more time? The altercation.
That was scary.
Yeah, so let's look at this one more time. So is that a gun? Like somebody's holding something.
I see what you're seeing there, Alex.
And then, yeah, that potentially shots are fired. He gets in there. You see the dog is barking. You see the guy trying to stop him. And then he gets out of the way. He realizes he might get run over. And it looks like he's shooting at him. And then the guy just keeps going, almost gets his leg run over.
The dog runs out in the street. Then he runs after his dog. You can see that in the bottom left there.
Wow, and somebody else was running.
And he had to hop a fence to get into the backyard of that home. So, again, the randomness of this. And he's driving a little bit more calmer, a little bit more conservative now, looking in his rearview mirror, seeing that, all right, I'm not seeing any officers. He's got to have an idea. What's that light on me coming from above? Perhaps, but he's not ripping through intersections. He's slowing down.
How his body can handle all this. Is he under the influence of something?
Adrenaline.
And if he's not, how much adrenaline do you have? I mean, at some point it starts to wear down.
He ran across a busy street after exiting that van, out of the passenger side, ran across that street, down the street, then popped over into that residential area, went through one backyard, then hopped the fence to get into the backyard of that home where we saw that altercation. Has he run into a little dead end or something? That's probably it. A cul-de-sac or a dead-end driveway.
Yeah, so this is the kind of place where they could potentially box him in if there were officers right behind him, but there aren't.
Hey, he did a little three-point.
Although they tried to box him in earlier and it didn't stop him, so.
Well, here's a little information we're getting from Fullerton Police. So they're saying the suspect fled from an attempted traffic stop around 440 in the Auto Center Drive in Santa Ana 5 freeway. The suspect was originally in a dark-colored sedan. At one point, stopped, jumped out of the car, tried to steal a parked pickup in Anaheim.
All right.
Couldn't break into that vehicle. Is he stopping?
Here we go.
He's stopping?
No, I think he's lost right now, and he's seeing that this area right here perhaps has a lot of dead ends. That area of Whittier, I do know, has a major rail service that goes through it. And when you do have that, there aren't a lot of thoroughfares. So perhaps he's running into those dead ends and trying to just get out of that area. Beverly Boulevard now, still in Whittier. Unclear if that's just random that he's in Whittier right now or if he has a connection. As I always say, they at times will go back to an area that they're familiar with, but it doesn't appear from what we've been watching here the last couple of minutes that he is familiar with that area. What we can see, though, not a lot of police activity on the ground.
Well, let me tell you what we didn't see. Okay, so again, this started out where he tried to steal another car, was in a sedan, then took off running into an apartment townhouse complex. That's where we saw him in the white van where police had blocked him in. So that was another vehicle that was stolen, and that's where we picked it up.
Yeah, this is
right
the video
there.
of that.
Yeah, so apparently they were chasing him already through this complex on foot and jumped into this van. And look at the officers there. They get out of their vehicle. They get out of the way for their own safety, which means by ramming the police car over and over, this driver is able to push it back and get it out of the way so that that van can actually make an escape.
And those are heavy-duty cruisers, and that is a Fullerton unit there. I can see it now, the emblem and that F on top. They always have numbers on there. And there goes the tire. There goes the back tire. And the timeline, as you just mentioned, Christine, with this pursuit, wow.
So then, okay, so let's watch this portion. So goes through a gas station, barely bumps a vehicle there, then is going to get basically stuck because they're not going to have enough room here with this parked car in traffic, bumps that car, and then that van's done. The van can't go anymore. It's stuck. And you see the sparks. The van almost looks like it's about to catch on fire. And then a little bit later on, the driver gets out of that thing and then jumps out across traffic and runs and gets away.
Yep, he pops out the passenger side, runs across, jumps across the hood of that sedan there that sort of blocked him in. And those units, those SUVs, those police SUVs are heavy-duty vehicles, but you saw that van was able to ram it when it was stuck in that residential area several times, putting those officers' lives in danger. Deadly force used there, was able to push them back just enough to do a turn to get out of that area. And then the pursuit of this van was on, which you're saying, Christine, was the second vehicle.
The problem here is there weren't enough other officers around to catch this guy once he jumps out of the van. There was just the one police vehicle.
Here we go. Here's the altercation on the ground again. This is the altercation on the ground. This is how he commandeered the pickup truck, the contractor's vehicle. Dog. There's a woman there. Two other men. Now they're trying to shut the fence.
Watch what it looks like a gunshot here. Boom, it looks like a shot is fired there, potentially another one aiming what looks like a weapon, but that doesn't seem to stop this guy from taking that vehicle.
Gosh, those poor people. You know, and that truck, you know, could be that man's livelihood.
And there's no reason to think if this person has already stolen two vehicles that he wouldn't be willing to steal a third.
There's no question. I mentioned that earlier. He's going to, how brazen he was, how aggressive he was running. I was surprised that he didn't try to commandeer a vehicle even sooner, to carjack another vehicle. He's trying to get away. They run because they're not in a good mental state. People always ask, why do they even go? Because they want to get away, and they have an idea in their head that they can. And we have seen some that are able to get away. This guy, man, I'm hoping that that all hands on deck, like I said, nearby LA County Sheriff's Department, all of the police involved as well. And you can see here now a lot of units arriving on scene here. We're back live here, so we are seeing those units perhaps enclose on this this pickup truck, this contractor's vehicle.
We're showing this wide shot here because our chopper needs fuel.
2.5 hours.
The chopper's going to peel away, try to get some fuel and get back up in the air and bring in more coverage.
Just like officer safety is their first priority, the safety of our folks in the chopper is our first priority.
That's right. I know that firsthand.
So we're going to let them do that, and then we'll see if this thing is still going once they get fuel. In the meantime, I know it's frustrating because we'd like to see what happens there. We'll try to stay updated. We talk about
All right, we thank our Fox 11 Los Angeles team there. Wow, what a wild police chase and so many twists and turns there. We'll, like Fox 11, kind of stay with it. If the chopper refuels and they find it yet again, of course, we'll keep you updated on if police, stop this from happening, they make an arrest. So we'll have updates for you on that particular police chase. The third police chase of the day here on Live Now from Fox. 2 there in Los Angeles County, 1 in Dallas earlier this afternoon. So not sure what's going on nationwide about that. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about some of these key international headlines, the war in Ukraine updates there. Also, what could a new House Republican majority do when it comes to funding for the war in Ukraine? We'll have more on that in 2 minutes.